Hello B2B, good to be back with you this evening. I put in another parable for us to discuss. A story. I love the parables, and I think most of us do, because Jesus really tries to make everything simple for us sheep. Again, just the thought of the parable, I want to kind of discuss why I would use a parable, or why Jesus would use a parable. So parables are able to convey spiritual truth from the natural world we live in. Paul says we walk by faith, not by sight. And in 2 Corinthians, in that same letter, he talks about this natural world. It's temporary. It's not the real deal. The spiritual world is the real deal. It's the one that's forever, eternal. So Jesus chooses to do parables. Parabolic languages like dreams or parables. They're symbols of what's going on. And we have the 5 senses that we use to understand the world around us. We touch things, taste things, hear things, feel things. And those parables that Jesus talks about, shares, are meant to elevate our natural senses to understand spiritual truths. So this one, Luke 14, this is really cool because Jesus he's invited to dinner at a Pharisee's house of all places. He's going to go to hang out with some religious people. And as he's invited to this dinner, he's watching people jockey for position in Luke 14. They're trying to, who can get closest to the head of the table and be recognized. So he talks about this parable of coming to a wedding feast and taking the place of least honor. So this is a parable about honor. And when we're invited to these places, maybe just take the back seat instead of going up to the front. So if someone more honorable comes up than us, we won't be embarrassed to have to get up, go sit down at the back of the line. Had that happen a couple times in my life. I'm sure you guys have all had it happen at some point or another. And so he uses this last verse, and I think it's verse 11, whoever exalts themselves shall be humbled, and whoever humbles themselves will be exalted. I'm McKenna Kay. My daughter's watching. So the parable is simple. Jesus loves when we choose humility. Because if we don't choose humility, there are times we're going to be humiliated. And that's much worse than choosing to be humble. And I love Matthew 18, where Jesus says, "Learn of me, for I am meek and lowly of heart." Think of this, Jesus, the most powerful person ever to walk the planet, says, "I am meek and lowly in heart." How many people do we know like that? These are things that we need to continue to just take a simple parable as, hey, I'm going to choose to humble myself today. I'm going to choose to take the low road. Not self-promotion, not self-exaltation. And let God in his due time. Psalm 76 says it is God that promotes. It's his job. It's what he does. And that we don't have to force our way into areas and into positions, into jobs, into friendships, try to get special attention, all these things. I think of, since my daughter's watching, I think of this interesting, McKenna's my oldest, and then I have Turner, and then Reese. There are 3 kids. And the 2 older kids had to learn a lesson a little bit quicker than my youngest. And that's when another one comes along. Reese was younger. They're going to lose attention because now there's another child in the house. And so again, it's very similar to that thought. Sometimes we're going to have to share space with others. And it's okay to exalt another person and treat them with dignity and respect. So it's a fun thing to do. It's a lot less pressure when we choose humility, to choose the low road instead of trying to self-promote. So that's the parable for today. It's the parable of honor. When we're called to an event, called to go over to someone's house, whatever it is, choose to just kind of stay back. Let the Lord promote you as necessary in a group or at work. You know, the self-promotion thing it can be a very bad thing. I've seen it in different ministries throughout the 20, 30 years I've been walking with the Lord and watching it. It usually ends bad. So may the Lord promote you guys where you need to be promoted, and may you trust Him to do it. All right, we'll talk to y'all later.